Hello, welcome to the Virtual Cheese Awards 2023, showcasing the best of British cheese. I'm Vicky Rogerson and I'll be moderating this session. Today, we're going to be judging A1 Traditional Mature Cheddar. And I'd like to introduce you to our two excellent judges, and they are Terry Hudson and Nicola Beardman. Nicola, do you want to introduce yourself first?
Hi, I'm Nicola. I work for Newer Foods UK. I'm their full-time grader. I've been judging now since 2017. I've judged all different awards, the World Cheese Awards, the internationals. Being a full-time grader, we get to see everything from cheddars, red Leicesters, a lot of territorials and continental cheeses.
That's great, thanks. And Terry?
Hi, I'm Terry Hudson. I've been in the dairy industry for around 50 years, so I'm the old timer. During that time, I've made most varieties of UK cheeses, and I've also been lucky enough to travel to many countries around the world involved in cheese trading, cheese manufacture and troubleshooting. So, and I've been judging at all the shows really in the UK for about 30 years now. Wow,
very experienced, thank you. So today we're going to be judging, all the judges are going to judge on 4 different attributes of each different cheese. So appearance, aroma, texture and taste, and we'll give a score for each one of those. The highest scored and scoring cheese will go through to the category final, which is going to be on the 17th of May. And also thanks for Butler's Farmhouse Cheeses for our aprons. Thank you very much. Looking lovely. So we're going to crack on, go straight into A1 Traditional Mature Cheddar. And the first cheese we're going to be judging is 1083. So if you get those out, that'd be great.
Okay, 1083. Right, so do you want me to kick off, Nicola?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so traditional mature cheddar cheese. This particular one is vacuum packed. So just going to open it now. Being traditional mature cheddar cheese, it'll be made as a farmhouse cheese, most probably unpasteurized milk, which means that the milk, the farm milk would have been most probably produced on the same site that the cheese is made. And being unpasteurized, obviously extra care is taken with the milk in the milking parlour to avoid pathogens getting into the cheese itself. So here we have beautiful looking farmhouse cheese, nice rind on it, which can be sealed to avoid cracking and ingress of mold into the cheese itself, which there's none of that. So a nice rind on the cheese, slightly darker against the rind, which is a little bit of drying, also enzymes from the rind itself. So sometimes you get mechanical openness because the cheese is pressed on gang presses, a traditional way of pressing the cheese. Factories use a vacuum press, but beautiful looking cheese, no mottling. Sometimes you can get poor salt distribution and acid spots, things like that, but that's a beautiful looking cheese, lovely colour.
Very even as well.
Yeah. So anything to add, Nicola? Do you want to say anything?
No, it does look like a really lovely block. Like I say, you've already picked up on the rind. Everything just looks very even, very uniform, sort of very well taken care of.
Yeah, yeah. So I'd give that a 9 for appearance.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, can't really fault it, really.
No.
Right. An aroma.
So just going to.
There is a really nice earthy aroma to that.
Yeah, yeah, you can smell.
A very rustic. What you'd expect from a farmhouse cheddar, but it does give on the nose. That's really nice.
Yeah, you've got those nice musty, grassy notes coming through on the nose. So a beautiful smell, lovely aroma. So what was next, Vicky? Was it texture?
Yeah, what score would you want to give aroma?
Aroma, well, again, I would say a 9 because it's just as it should be, really. There's lovely notes coming up.
Yeah, I'm completely agreed with that. I think the aroma is lovely. It really does give. You've got all the traditional sort of, like say, musty, quite rustic notes on there.
Yeah. One thing I'll add, these cheeses, I brought them up to room temperature, which is important for anybody who's ever eating cheese. Make sure it's at room temperature, and also judging it helps to bring out those nice aromas.
Next, texture.
So texture, it's got that nice flinty look when you break it. So we're working it between the fingers now to warm it up a little bit more, and checking the texture as well. So we warm it up a little bit, have another.
It's quite pliable.
Nicola, can you move your camera up a bit so we can see your eyes?
Sorry.
I see your mouth, which is good. Yeah.
It's fine, you just need to see me eating.
So score for texture?
Well, texture is great. It's got the flinty look. There's no free moisture in the curd itself. It's got a lovely mouthfeel.
It does have a really, really nice mouthfeel. Although there's that flintiness there to it, it is still quite smooth.
Because it's probably unpasteurized milk. It tends to be very slowly matured, and they don't use extra cultures to replace what pasteurization has taken out. And sometimes that can cause it to go a little bit too crumbly, but this is lovely and creamy. So texture, again, I can't really fault it, so I would say
No.
I'm just keeping a little bit of headroom because there may be something better, but so far it's an exceptionally nice cheese.
Nicola, do you agree with that? No?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. It is really nice, really well rounded. Texturally wise, like I say, there is smoothness in there. Yeah.
Great, and then taste.
Okay, so taste, the best bit. So I've already had it. So
we're going back for more.
So again, lots of different flavors, very complex, slightly sharp, got a little bit of a tingle on the lips, which is again typical of that kind of cheese.
It does give what the aroma's saying as well. It really does follow through. Which before now I have had some cheeses that don't, so I think that's really good. It sort of lives up to its promise. And you have got the really rustic characteristics of a farmhouse in there.
Right, and the flavour level of mature cheese, I mean, it says what it does what it says on the tin. It's a nice mature cheese. You wouldn't be upset if you purchased a piece of this. Bags of flavour, depth of flavour. So very good, really. And
yeah, that's lovely.
Fantastically with a pint of traditional ale or cider and one of Lottie Shaw's oatcakes. So
thanks to Lottie Shaw's for giving us our oatcakes.
Lovely.
Ate them so they weren't too flavourful, so they've got lots of oats in them to clear your palate. So what score would you like to give for?
I would say a 9 again. I don't know about you.
Yeah, easily a 9. That's fine. Yeah.
Great.
Starting off with a fantastic piece of cheese.
And just to note that we weight the flavour by 50%. So the score is high. So obviously you have a good looking cheese, but the flavour, if it's got a great flavour, then that weights up 50%. So there you go. So moving on. So the next cheese is 1037.
Yeah. 1037.
Yeah.
This one's wrapped in cling film. Again, beautiful looking rind, nice and sealed, no cracking, no ingress of mold. I say mold, but it's the rind, it's just the flora in the maturation store, so perfectly harmless. You can eat it if you feel like it, or cook with it, so no need to chuck it in the bin. And slight darkening around the edge. So what do you think, Nicola? No mottled?
Yeah, again, it's got a really beautiful colour. The rind is, again, exactly what you'd expect with the markings on there. So the colour's beautiful. You have got slight maturation around the edge as well. Like I say, you can see that with the slight darkening there. That's again a really beautiful looking piece of cheese. I do have an ever so slight bit of cracking in mine, just around the bottom there, but like I say, that's to be expected anyway with the type of cheese.
Yeah, slight mechanical openness, which again, traditionally pressed cheese, you'd expect that. Bit of open texture. Don't know, can't see mine so clear out there.
It's got quite a bit of...
What do you think appearance wise, Nicola?
Yeah, I think it is nice. But like I say, there is that ever so slight openness.
Yeah, I'd still give it a 9 because it's a traditional.
Yeah, it is expected.
Yeah, it's you know, it is matured on a wooden shelf probably, and turned and bandaged. You can see where the muslin cloth has been, which has been removed for packing, just to give it support and protection. So no, I would give it a 9 again for appearance.
And aroma.
Aroma, again, lovely
This
smell.
one's slightly more musty than the last.
Yeah, I think that's just a reflection of the maturation store and the rind itself.
Yeah, the mustiness does lie on the rind.
Mm.
And the cheese itself, again, gives that sort of really earthy, rustic aroma to it.
Yeah, again, if you go into the store where they're maturing these, then that's the sort of aroma you get as you walk into the store. Obviously, in the very old days, it would have been a cave, but I don't know about this one.
Okay, some do still use caves.
So again, I suspect it's unpasteurized milk. Great care taken the milking parlour. This milk is sterile inside the udder and it's contaminants when it comes out, and so hygiene is paramount. So what do you think aroma then, Nicola?
Yeah, I'd again, there's no fault there, and it does have a lovely aroma to it, exactly what you'd expect from this type of cheese.
Warming it up a little bit. Yeah, beautiful smell. I wish I had my point of ale to go with it.
You're making me hungry, stop it.
Mm.
So what score do you want to give aroma?
I'd say 9 again, really,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
equally as good as the previous one. Slightly different aromas, but still that musty, grassy, typical of this kind of cheese.
Okay. I'm doing texture.
Again, there's that slight flintiness to it when cutting, which we can sort of see on the edges there that's been cut off. But in the mouth, again, it's got a really, really nice mouthfeel.
Mm.
And there is a smoothness there.
Nice, creamy, buttery.
It does melt in the mouth, that one.
Mm.
Like completely melts away.
Yeah, beautiful. Look, very complex flavors. It just keeps on coming and coming. It doesn't.
I've still got waves coming in that one.
Yeah, beautiful lingering flavor.
So for texture, what score would you give it? And for taste?
I'd say 9 again. Joe, I don't know what you think, Nicola.
Yeah, no, easily a 9. That's yeah.
Yeah, very good. Flavor again, very more.
It does give, again, back on the aroma, it keeps its promise. What you can smell and the depth there and the complexities that you can pick up on the aroma, it gives again on the taste.
Yeah, lovely lingering flavor. Sometimes you'll get the one-dimensional upfront flavor and it disappears, but this keeps on coming and coming. So very complex, nice, sweet and savory, grassy.
But very well balanced as well. Nothing overpowers each other. It's sort of it's balanced really nicely.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think of score on that one, Nicola?
I'd be happy to give that a 9. I actually personally prefer the taste of that over the other one. I just think it gives something extra. There is slightly more depth in it.
Okay, so would you go 9.5 then on this one? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do you feel about it?
Yes, it is. I would say it's slightly more complex, and the texture is slightly more creamy and buttery. It's very smooth. It's sometimes you get a mature cheese like this, they get a little bit too crumbly, like I say, but that is lovely and smooth texture. Very nice. Okay.
Great. And the next cheese then is 1021.
So this one's actually in paper. I've got wax paper for this one.
This one is parchment wrapped. Just different ways of packaging. So do you want to kick off, Nicola?
Yeah, so looks wise, we've actually got a slightly darker colour on this one. The actual, like say, paste is slightly darker in colour.
Yeah.
A beautiful looking rinds. And again, you can see where the cloth has been on that one. You can actually see you can see the maturation on the outside again, where the ever so slightly darker paste is.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I've actually got some openness there from the rinds.
Yeah.
Don't know if you can make that out there, and there's some just on the underside there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a tiny bit of mold ingress, isn't there? Same on mine.
Yeah, it is only slight.
Yeah.
Like you can see exactly where it is. Ever so slightly open looking texture on that one.
Mm-hmm.
the other ones seem to have like slightly bigger fishes, whereas that's sort of smaller but more of. Anything to add for that?
Not really. I mean, again, you'd expect some mechanical openness on because of the pressing, and you're right. You know, there is a little slightly, I mean, it's very slight bit of cracking and moulding rest, but it certainly wouldn't be anything to worry about. But from a judging point of view, I'll probably knock a point off of that. It's still excellent, but we're just comparing with other cheeses on the day, so I would give it an 8 really.
Yeah, happy with that.
Very slight. I don't even like.
I feel like I've got a little bit more than you on that one, to be fair, because I say that one, that side just there.
Yeah.
So although like they expected, compared to the others that are, it's just more of an imperfection, isn't it?
Yeah, it wouldn't put me off buying it, you know, but
oh no,
today we're sort of judging it and being very critical, if you like, but it's still an excellent looking cheese. It looks as if it's been well made and well looked after. It's had TLC, so excellent cheese. So like we say, I'd give it an 8, as we said.
Okay, an 8. Great. Aroma.
So aroma, it's got the
very musty edge on that one on the rind again. Very musty.
It's not as pronounced as the previous samples.
There are some of the sort of rustic grassy notes there, but like I say, the others are a lot more pronounced, aren't they?
So I'm not picking up as much aroma as the others, but the texture is fine. What are we scoring on texture now, Vicky?
On aroma.
Aroma, right? Okay. I mean, it's clean. There's no off flavors or faults or anything like that. No sort of whey flavors or anything. So it's a really well made cheese. It's very clean. There are some grassy notes in there, musty notes, which again is typical of the traditional farmhouse cheddar. But I'm not picking up as many flavors as the previous cheeses. About you, Nicola?
Yeah, no, I'd be willing to mark that down one again, just because it's not quite giving as much on the nose.
So what score would you give it?
Aroma, again, I would say another 8.
Okay. Then moving on to texture.
Again, there's a slight flintiness to it. But it does cut quite nicely.
It's very slightly crumbly. It's not as creamy as the previous cheese, although it comes together nicely and does smooth out. So it is a nice texture. Mouthfeel.
Again, not quite as smooth as the others.
Smooth and creamy like the previous one, but again, I wouldn't be too upset if I bought a piece of this cheese.
What score would you give it then,
Nicola? Texture again, I would say an 8. What do you think, Nicola?
Yeah. It is, like I say, it's not quite as smooth as the others, is it?
So we come to the best bit, taste, flavour.
It's a lot sharper than I was expecting because it doesn't give as much on the aroma. It almost keeps it a bit of a secret. There's a real sweetness to this one.
So nice complex flavours. Like you say, it's slightly more sharpness to it, which is not a problem. It tends to probably, it's not lingering as much as the other two cheeses, but it's lovely clean cheese. There's no off flavours or taints or.
It doesn't feel quite as complex as the others.
Yeah.
I think that sharpness might sort of take away from the complexity, maybe. But it is actually still a really, really lovely cheese.
Yeah.
Again, I'd happily buy that as it is.
I'd give it 8.5 for flavour.
Yeah.
8.5, great.
Okay.
Yep. And then on to the last cheese of this class, which is 1196.
So another vacuum packed cheese.
It's very nice how just a little touch there. They've sellotaped the end just to make it look a bit neater. Just think that's a really lovely touch.
So nice looking cheese. I've got the top or the bottom of the full round truffle. Though it be a very large truffle. Lovely rind on it again. Nice and clean. There's no sort of mold on this one. Although you can see where the muslin bandage has been. Again, probably dipped in hot water to seal it. So no cracking and mold ingress.
It's really, really nice looking. Again, really uniform. Slightly paler on the rind.
Yeah.
And it's not got these sort of almost like matte looking markings that you get where some of the molds have developed. But it is a very, very pretty, very uniform looking piece of cheese. No faults with that. No cracking of the rind or anything like that.
No mottling or discoloration.
No, I'd happily give that a 9.
Yeah, I'd agree.
An aroma.
Ooh.
That is so nice, grassy, sort of musty notes, which I love. It's just like walking into a traditional cheese store. So if you went into a cheesemonger's, you'd say, what a lovely smell.
Yeah, it's exactly as expected. It really does give. You've got the mustiness of the rind and the very grassy, rustic note on the paste itself. I feel like that's a 9 personally for aroma.
Yeah, definitely. It's nice on the nose as well. It's those lovely grassy notes again.
Yeah.
Texture.
Looks really nicely, so it gives quite a bit smoother for the actual cutting itself. A little bit has just broke off actually, so
got that nice flinty break. So very nice creamy mouthfeel. So again, I think the texture is a 9 really. I think that's
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Flavour. Again, I've got that nice tingling on the lips. I don't know about you, Nicola.
Yeah, it gives exactly what the aroma says. Feel like it's again quite a complex one. It tells you a bit of a story. This one, I feel like there's a really nice depth there. Good complexity, that sharpness is there.
So yeah, I'll give that 9 again, because you know, it's lovely traditional mature cheddar cheese. And again, goes well with Lottie Shaw's oat cakes.
I wouldn't mind actually.
Would you agree with that, Nicola?
Yeah, definitely. See, it tells exactly what the aroma does. There's a really nice sharpness to it. It's still very well balanced and well rounded. So yeah.
So I think we've got a joint second, haven't we?
Yeah, so we've got A1 1037 is the winner with 41.25 points. And then joint second is A1 1083 and A1 1196. And then A1 1021.
So do we leave it at that, or have we got to decide on?
That's fine, as long as we've got a clear winner.
Okay, brilliant.
That cheese will go through to the live final.
2 fantastic cheeses, and I would hate
Yeah.
choice.
Brilliant. Thank you for your judging, and everyone else, make sure that you come back on May 17th to see who comes as Supreme Champion. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.